Welcome to the Music with a Message series brought to you by the Seattle World Tour as part of our Winter Food Drive and Fundraiser. I'm Taylor Hart from Respect My Region, and I'm sitting down with Fonda.
Hey.
Hi. Hey. For those who haven't heard of you yet, could you just go around and kind of introduce yourselves and say what role you play in the band? Start down here.
Well, of course. My name is Valerie. I write and sing and play guitar in Fonda.
I'm Jesse, and I play lead guitar.
I am Jacob, the drummer.
Hi, I'm Brian. I play bass, and not here with us is another member on keyboards, our friend Patrick.
And my name is Veronica, and I sing and also write in Fonda.
Beautiful. So how has the year treated all of you guys?
Taken us by surprise, but I think we've had to make a lot of internal adjustments and changes, and I think it's been really good for us, as individuals and as a group as well. We're kind of bubbled up together, so we've been able to kind of hone down on some songwriting, and that's been a positive part of it.
Yeah, it's really truly been a whirlwind of a year, right? I mean, March this past year feels like yesterday. I remember sitting down in my lunchroom. I would come from the hotel industry, where Veronica and I were, planning Belltown Bash, a festival that we had to ultimately cancel in early April. But I just remember sitting down in the lunchroom of the hotel that I worked at, and just seeing the headlines flooding in slowly about everything that was going on with the pandemic. And then a month later, boom, 400 people gone from work. The hotel is still shut down, and I know so many friends and family have just been so affected by this year, and not knowing when, what the next month is going to look like, taking things day to day. Really just not knowing what's going to happen with the job security and families and working from home and childcare and school and all of these different things that we're so used to just functioning to expect that it's going to be normal. But it's been a whirlwind of a year, and I think it's really allowed us all to take a really deep, hard look at what's important. And I know that for us, we've been able to spend time with family and really it's really close up and internalize everything that's external, that's very extreme, that we've gone through. And I think it's been really special to spend some quality time together, because we have as we kind of got into quarantine and pandemic, we were able to have the opportunity to play music together and spend some quality time together and think about how we want to release new music, which we're going to be doing very soon here.
Exciting.
So it's just been a lot, but
do you think
For sure.
Do you think it's changed your guys' sound up a little bit? Do you feel more tight together when you play, or do you think the downtime from live performing has kind of dissipated a little bit?
I think there's just more to appreciate. It's the time that we get to have together is so golden.
Even just coming to this live, just to show up here today, it's kind of few and far between. So it's just, we're all just really excited, and I think when live music gets to come back and it's safe, and I think we won't be taking those opportunities for granted.
For sure.
We'll be ready.
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, you guys performed perfectly today. It sounded great to me. So, as somebody who hasn't heard live music in almost an entire year now, besides little snippets while I'm here filming for this, so it's been magical to hear. So
it's also really amazing to see so many different platforms like the Seattle World Tour, kind of going from kind of adjusting to what this pandemic has done, and kind of also making people have to go online for the first time, and just kind of finally you see people finally diving into that world, and I think that's kind of been empowering for some people, and that's something I still want to get into more.
How have you guys shifted throughout the year as far as promoting your music, and what you were going to do? I'm sure that there was a lot of things in the works that had to be kind of stopped because no more live performing and all of that. So how is that shifting?
We played one show of our tour last year and had to head straight home.
Right.
So that's the first big change. then Belltown Bash.
We had like a rest stop meeting. We were like on our way to like
Eugene.
to Eugene or
Yeah.
something, and we all like pulled over in the rest stop and got out, and we are like, this COVID thing, I think we need to go home. Like, and so that rest stop meeting, we turned around and it was. I'm glad
I
that we
think
did.
that was what, like a Wednesday night, and then Governor Inslee's order came like that following Sunday, and oh my gosh, we were all so thankful to be home with toilet paper and stocked fridges instead of coming home off the road
Yeah.
all ragged, you know.
Wow.
It's just yeah, it was a whirlwind. But I think it's really great to just see how people in our community have been so flexible and have asked like, what can we do to
Right.
you know, come together as a community and to be able to have a call to action to like raise funds for so many different causes right now. I mean, we not only had a whirlwind of the year with industries, you know, having to go through the pandemic, but with our world, you know, we experienced the, you know, revolutions in our hometown, and it's been really inspiring to just really truly look inwards and be like, who do we want to be? Like, how
Right.
do we want our music to resonate with people? What kind of, you know, like how do we want to interact with our community? And it's really great to see, you know, the Saddle World Tour take so much initiative and asking people, you know, like, hey, people are struggling, people are having a hard time to find meals right now, like homelessness is rising, and you know, we have the opportunity to come together as a community and
use our platform.
donate food
sure.
to these locations. And it's really great to see businesses, you know,
Yeah.
stepping up too, because that's so much a part of it. Like we need all of each other to really come together to make an impact to those struggling and suffering the most right now.
Yeah, it's crazy in a time of like social media being at the forefront of everybody's daily lives. We see things come and go and trends and things go viral, and it's weird to think that like right before COVID kicked off, we were seeing like a huge rise in trend of people, you know, going out and cleaning up beaches and parks. You know, you see people starting these viral trends of just being better society, and then something so drastic hits, and we see people continue, and now we have the spotlight on social justice and civil rights, and just how can we further our community and make it, you know, a healthier place to live, a happier place to live. It's been crazy to watch over the year.
Yeah.
And so you guys have mentioned earlier how you're working on an album that's going to be released. Has the events of this year played into how you guys developed the album, the track listing maybe, or anything about it? Has it impacted it at all?
I think for this
Just that
album,
it kind of pushed us to finally release it.
well, yeah, and like knowing that we weren't gonna have the opportunity to tour, you know, because that's really what, you know, bands write albums with the hopes and the dreams,
To
like
tour
to be
them.
able to
Right.
tour and to reach people and to talk to them after the show and just to travel and to be, you know, tour is also a way where we get to spend golden hours together.
Right.
That's really just a time for us, you know, to bond and to see new places and really have this reflective time and to play shows together. And you know, and I think with knowing that we weren't going to have the opportunity to do that, we're really excited to be releasing this record, because it's been in the works for a long time. You know, it's hard being an artist. It's expensive to record.
Very much so.
There's 6 of us, you know, and it was a beast to make these songs happen, but we all came together to, you know, this album really is a time capsule in a way of our founding. We've been together. We're kind of creeping up here in February. We'll be celebrating our 5-year band anniversary.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And it's, you know, it's just a whirlwind, because we're all everybody's always managing so much between
Right.
jobs and relationships and, you know, your duties as a son and daughter and friend and sister.
Expecting mother.
Yeah, expecting mother. You know, so it's we feel blessed to be able to have music and our friendship in each other to then have this collection of songs that's
Yeah.
really truly special
I think
to us.
this album that's about to come out is very well encapsulates the first several years of our
Like
of us
formation.
making music together and our friendship and our personal relationships and the struggles we went through and the joys we shared.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to listen. I mean, we only recently got physical copies of it, so I listened to the tracks again all the way for the first time in a while, and it really does hold like so many messages and stories from our forming in our first couple years as a band and friends. I'm super excited.
And just really it's like a kind of like a witness to our growth as a band, but also as individuals. You know, I've seen like, you know, behind me, all of us, we've been through so much together, like highs and lows, and we've all had to take a look at a mirror and just like accept that sometimes we have to change in our own mind and our own self. And I think these songs like have really helped us like grow into those people, and I'm really excited to finally put it out.
I can't wait.
We're so excited.
Yeah, from what I heard earlier, I'm super excited about it. So I've always enjoyed listening to your guys' music anyway. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, it's a pleasure. Especially at previous Seattle World Tour events and everything too. It's
So
always
fun.
been been nice to have you guys around. The energy that you guys bring and just the passion for the community and for everything out here is also just amazing energy to match with our foundation. So
Thank you.
yeah. So speaking on Seattle World Tour Foundation things and this food drive and fundraiser that we're doing this winter to help raise awareness, raise resources for an ever impendingly growing larger group of people here. A lot of people, especially now, are on the verge of being evicted and ending up being homeless and bouncing around from place to place trying to figure it out. And so I just kind of wanted to talk with you guys and see if you guys had any thoughts, any ideas of steps that could be taken, or any just like personal thing that you guys have experienced or want to talk about and mention on the homeless crisis that's here in King County.
Well, I know like from, like personal experience, it really doesn't take much to become homeless. It can mean like just, a month or 2 weeks of not working, and then your kind of world can be turned upside down. And so, it's a lot easier to become in that situation, than people might think. And so, if you have like the extra hand, like, if you have that extra dollar to give, if you can donate that food that's just been sitting in your cabinet, for a year and you haven't touched it, especially like during March when people were kind of freaking out and way overstocking.
Right.
I think now is the time to just, like give. And, there are people that are really struggling, and, kind of like our government isn't exactly coming through for a lot of people. And for some people it might be working, but others, like I know that it's not,
Right.
So, just giving back as much as you can right now, I think is important.
Yeah, and not having these systems in place that our society relies on, and it's so tough because you think about the teenagers that are that may be already struggling, and the teenagers that the people of color, teens that are especially struggling, or people that are living in the shadows with not proper documentation. It's like people are struggling everywhere, and it's like, how can we just have the opportunities to give and to make sure that they're able to go to school, or people have the resources to get food and take care of like their immediate needs. You see a lot more people living on the street, bouncing around from shelters. Shelter numbers are smaller. It's like, how can we really serve and like be of service to people that are struggling the most?
Yeah.
And it's a challenge too with the distance and pandemic, and what can our systems and society do to help create and to provide those spaces. And it's I think we're all trying to figure out like how to do that in an unprecedented time.
Right. How to redistribute everything. Because, you see so many instances where, like, food gets thrown out of a restaurant because somebody got the wrong meal. They didn't get what they ordered, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a perfectly fine meal.
Yeah.
And it ends up going in the trash. And part of that's part of why we're in these instances and dealing with these circumstances is because of that. So 100%, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
It's the giving back. It's the sharing things and realizing that they're,
Absolutely.
another human being worth it. Because everybody deserves that and everybody is worth it. So, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this next year, how things get implemented with the change of administration, and a whole year of things becoming evident to us. Do you guys have any hopes for this year of what's to come, or any idea of what to expect?
I just really hoped, to see, people, staying healthy and, just, following their dreams and, just like really just like staying healthy and just like checking in with your loved ones. And, yes, I really want live music to come back, but is it like a priority? Not right now,
Right.
but I would like to see that, but I'm okay to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, not to be cheesy, but I just hope that people continue to have hope. Because it's really important to just be positive when everything is changing and you're tired, and it's really easy to close your heart to things and like be cold and be exhausted and be worn down. But if we can all just have hope and have an open heart and give without expecting anything back, and give to the people that you see that are struggling, even in like your backyard, your next door neighbor, the person down the street that you notice, hey, they've been there for a couple of nights, or what's going on.
Right.
If you have a sleeping bag in your closet, I think it starts with us as individuals and inspiring each other as friends to just be hopeful, to be a good person, and to like open your heart to the people that you might see that need it, and like really open your eyes to what's going on, even in your even in our backyards.
100%. I absolutely agree with all of that. Anything else that you guys want to add in, or anything else that you guys want to highlight?
I'll say something. But I feel like as far as going back to the band and like this past year, I feel like we've learned a lot about ourselves and just how well we do with just adapting to change, and that's like really important. And I think not just with the band, but I think like everyone like in this country and like in the world has probably learned a lot about themselves going through this past year, because it's been just such a hard year. But we all made it through it, and I feel like this next year is gonna be better because we just went through a really hard one. And if it is worse, hopefully not. But it is like nice to see like things like this, like Seattle World Tour is still going on, even though like as bad as it seems the times, there's still small community looking out for each other, and you would think like that people would be just out for themselves, but the fact that people are still looking out for one another is just awesome. And then
beautiful.
to Veronica's point, like how it's so easy to become homeless, it's still so easy though to help people who are homeless. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. Like it seems like such a just overwhelming issue that it's like I don't even know what I can do. It's such a big problem, but it is like it's the small things that I think make a big impact.
The day-to-day things.
Yeah, and just donating food. It's like it can be that simple. It doesn't have to be.
Sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had an old sleeping bag I was gonna take to Goodwill or something, and donate, but it was a lot easier to just walk a couple blocks and find somebody who clearly looked cold. And so
Right.
they were very grateful. It's like,
It's
just little
very
things like
easy
that.
to find them
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
I
unfortunately
mean,
it is, but-
that's my bus ride in every time that we film. I go down 3rd Avenue and
Oh yeah, Third Ave, yeah.
every
absolutely.
single block. I mean, there's micro communities developing on these
absolutely.
blocks.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just,
And they're coming together as a community too, because they have to.
They help each other out.
They're surviving.
Exactly, it's
So-
survival for them out there. So yeah, the day-to-day essentials is so easy to share, so easy to give back to people. And I think if we can manage to do that as a society, I think we will manage to get through this pretty easily.
Amen.
So, yeah.
I think too, like a big thing is acknowledging just that it's going on, because there's so much other
Yeah.
stuff happening,
Yeah.
and it could be something as simple as just saying hi to somebody, or just acknowledging them, because it's like, I think you can become so numb to it because it's
Yeah.
like it's everywhere.
Because it is everywhere.
And you can either ignore it and act like it's not happening, or acknowledge them,
As a human being.
Yeah,
For sure.
And I think
Yeah.
that happens a lot, is where you get so used to on your daily commute or something, and you just walk by it, or them, and but I think it's just the small things again, is
Yeah.
just saying hi, and giving people respect. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. I think that's gravy.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
We
so
have-
much.
We're fighting to live off of minimum wage. Count the bills, there's too many.